the death of his maternal aunt, Pisikeneza Nwagaba, which occurred on 13th January 2022. There will be a church service at Bukoto Evangelical Church on 15th at 11 a.m. and then burial at 10 a.m. on 17th January 2022 in Katiazo Kashari. Informed Mzee Rubyakana, Mzee Kashagama, Mzee Chirindori and officers and men of UPDF, friends and in-laws. Family of Dr. John Nwagaba of Katiaza Kashari Mbarara district with deep sorrow announced the death of his dear wife, Pisikeneza Nwagaba, which occurred on Thursday, 13th January 2022. There will be a funeral service on Saturday, 15th January 2022 at Bukoto Evangelical Church at 11 a.m. Burial will take place on Monday, 17th January 2022 in Katiazo Kashari Mbarara district starting at 10 a.m. Informed a family and friends. May her soul rest in eternal peace.
Well, it is the 14th day of January 2022. A very good evening and a very big welcome back from that AFCON game whereby Malawi beat Zimbabwe 2-1. They call it the Battle of the South. Well, this time around we're getting into this evening's news bulletin. But before we get into the bulletin, let's first take a look at tonight's headlines.
Brought to you by
How to get points. Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
And in tonight's headlines, Kampala parents hiding their children from vaccination. Chabazinga Gabula Nadiope on the throne till death. $2,493 nurses, midwives failed semester exams due to COVID-19. And Hoima Kanungu fuel prices hike paralyzes transport.
Was brought to you by Everywhere you go, MTN.
A very good evening once again and welcome to this edition of UBC News tonight on this 14th day of January 2022. I'm Loreen Masika Kazimoto and of course my colleague Muhammad Mugalu will be joining us later on. Now we'll start off with our first headlining story this evening. The national door-to-door polio vaccination program started this Friday. A bigger number of parents embraced the exercise, with most of them freely allowing their children to be vaccinated, though some parents refused their children from being vaccinated. Now, our UBC News crew caught up with some of the health teams undertaking the exercise in Mbuya Parish, a Kampala suburb, and has the details.
Moses Mugarula is the village health team leader in Mbuya Parish, Nakawa division in Kampala city.
Hello.
By 10 o'clock this Friday, Moses Mugarula was leading a team of health workers for a door-to-door vaccination exercise in the 3 villages of Mbuya Parish near Kampala. Mugarula says the public has embraced the exercise and most parents have allowed their children to be vaccinated.
And people have responded, people are willing. We've gone to schools, we've talked to people. People are aware. Since they have been watching TV, people have been getting communication, and people are aware.
By the end of the day, Mugarula estimated that over 800 children had been vaccinated in Mboya Parish alone.
The population is too big. Some of our members, the vaccines got over, and we had to call for other vaccines, and the vehicles we have few. So we are moving, but we are moving on slowly by slowly. Since it's day one, I think by tomorrow things will be okay.
A section of the parents welcomed the move by government to vaccinate children.
Happy we have received the polio vaccination in our school. We tried to vaccine over 60 children. We had the boys and the girls. We are grateful for the government programs because this do help our children.
Nsanyukidde kubanga polio tulaba kaseera ako abana babera balema tibabeera n'obulamu bulungi.
Vaccinating our children is a good thing because we protect them from polio. So I urge parents, please don't fear vaccinating your children because it is a good thing for them.
I do appreciate the government so much for this program of coming door to door, immunizing their children.
Meanwhile, some parents in Mboyatu village refused their children to be vaccinated, and this lady, who could not reveal her name, openly told the team the same. Maybe did their father tell you don't vaccinate them, or you had people talking bad about it?
It's my decision.
It's her decision.
The LC1 chairperson of Mboyatu village, Nathan Masaba, also says when he went for supervision, he was also faced with some resistance from parents refusing their children to be vaccinated.
The exercise has not been very bad, though it had some few challenges. There are families where we would reach, and of course a lot of questions are given. They say, is this for example, if they have just taken a child for vaccination in hospital, they would ask us whether it would be better, good for them again to get another. Then of course we would convince them that it's a massive. Then some were refusing, of course.
However, the World Health Organization representative in Uganda during the launch of the vaccination exercise on Thursday assured the public of the safety of the vaccines.
And I would like to reassure you it is safe because all the necessary activities and materials and everything is ready to ensure that this is a safe vaccination campaign where infection prevention and control measures are all taken into consideration and arrangements are done.
The door-to-door polio vaccination program that started on this Friday will last for 3 days, and according to the Ministry of Health, they are targeting 8.5 million children under the age of 5. Philip Aguta, UBC News in Kampala.
Thank you, Philip Agota. Now, Moroto district targets to immunize 24,800 children below the age of 5 years in a mass polio vaccination exercise that kicked off this Friday across the country. Moroto district RDC James Shilaku confirmed this at the launch of the campaign held at Child Jesus Primary School in Moroto municipality. Take a look.
At exactly 9 a.m., Moroto district local government leaders and health workers were ready to start the vaccination process, which they launched at Child Jesus Nursery School in Moroto municipality. The campaign aims at immunizing children below 5 years. From here, a door-to-door vaccination campaign led by Dr. Hans Lokale was conducted in Tapak, Nadunget sub-counties in Moroto district, among others. In some areas like Tapak sub-county, the team had to walk over 10 kilometers in under the scorching sun to reach different homes. Moroto District Health Officer Dr. Hans Lokoli says they are targeting over 20,000 children in this district.
We are looking at the target of the children we have in Moroto, the 24,800 children, and we hope we can hit 100%.
Moroto district leaders urged parents to allow health workers immunize their children against polio.
To polio, those who are at home, the health workers are moving from house to house or door to door vaccinating. Those at school, the health workers are doing it from the school where the children are. So all the parents don't fear. This vaccine is proven. It is good and healthy for our children to strengthen, improve on their body immunity.
Strongly support this exercise. With my team of Moroto people, Moroto management, Moroto leadership, we do support this vaccination program of polio.
Moroto District RDC James Shiraku warned parents who are against government program to kick polio out of Uganda.
So go around the campaigning the vaccine that you are against the government policy, and if you are got doing that, you will be dealt with accordingly within the law. This is a government program for the good of our children.
The 3rd Division Commander Brigadier General Joseph Balikudembe said it's a collective effort for all leaders in Karamoja to see that government programs are fully implemented.
In Karamoja we work as a team and we make sure that all government programs are implemented so that Karamoja is on the same level with any other part of the country.
Polio vaccination campaign will last for 3 days across the country to prevent children from being attacked by polio.
Now away from Moroto into Busoga region, the Busoga Kingdom has refuted allegations that the Chabazinga Wilberforce Gabula Nadiope IV is being replaced. Busoga Kingdom's Prime Minister Dr. Joseph Mvawala says the Chabazinga can only be replaced upon death. The argument is supported by Bugabula South Member of Parliament Henry Morris Chibalia, who cites external meddling into Busoga affairs. Take a look.
On the evening of Thursday, 13th January 2022, this letter purported to be from the Kingdom of Busoga in eastern Uganda made rounds on social media. In it was communication to the effect that the current Chabazinga of Busoga, Wilberforce Gabula Nadiope IV, had been removed from office, and that the Council of Chiefs had installed Edward Columbus Wambuzi Muloki, the Zibondo of Bulamogi, something the leadership of Busoga has rubbished.
We don't just replace a Chabazinga like that. We have a line. That kingdom has its line. It has what it follows. We just see last year the Chabazinga just closed the Busoga Luchiko and is yet to open the new Busoga Luchiko for this financial year, for this 2022.
In agreement with Bugabula South Member of Parliament Henry Morris Kibalia is Busoga Kingdom Prime Minister Joseph Mvawala. In a letter authored and shared on social media on Friday afternoon, Mvawala noted that the purported dismissal or election of a new Chabazinga is false and illegal. The letter further notes that a Chabazinga once elected under the Kingdom Constitution and its cultural reigns, only death can end his period in office.
Busoga is now united in its own way. It's now moving on. The Chabazinga is addressing people, giving people the direction. We are handling developmental programs. We are now in a new era. It's a new chapter. So whoever wants to take us back to again disunite Busoga, disorganize Busoga, cause issues, please you go and fight your wars in your own tribes.
Such moves as electing a new Chabazinga have been blamed on external interference.
Let those who are not Busoga go and solve their issues. They have bigger issues in their tribes than the issues of Busoga. Let them not carry the elephant when they have an antelope to carry, which is failing them to carry.
William Wilberforce Gabula Nadiope IV was elected the Isebantu Chabazinga of Busoga Kingdom on 24th August 2014.
This was before he was enthroned on 14th September of the same year, before he was duly gazetted on 24th June 2019. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Fuel stations have hiked fuel prices in Hoima City, paralyzing transport and manufacturing industries. The price of petrol now costs between 10,000 to 12,000, up from 4,999 per litre, while in Kanungu district, the price of petrol was hiked from 4,800 to 5,100 Uganda shillings. However, the price of diesel in Hoima and Kanungu remained constant, trading at 3,950 and 4,200 respectively.
By 5 p.m. last evening, most fuel stations in Hoima City had run out of fuel, especially petrol. A litre, which was trading at 7,000 shillings as of last evening, by 9 p.m. had shot up to 10,000, and by Friday morning, a litre was selling at 12,000 shillings. A big number of fuel stations in the city have run out of fuel, and workers at many fuel pumps are seen idling at many stations. Geoffrey Sande, a taxi driver operating from Hoima Taxi Park, and Ismail Irumba, a private car driver, say the hiked fuel prices have affected them. The dilemma at play has called for a trickle-down of increasing transport fares for players in the transport sector to make two ends meet.
We cannot afford to buy fuel at 10,000, 20,000. That is a high price. If we can put fuel from 5,000, you add times 2. That is a lot of money.
The surging gasoline prices have also made life difficult for motorbike riders in Hoima City. They reveal that hiking their fares was the only option left for any town service. Benon Ahebwa and Joyce Mbabazi say secretarial business is also affected.
You find that a photocopy, a copy, you charge 100. And when you come to the petrol station, you are charged 10,000. Now it is on 12,000 a litre. Now how will I survive?
Meanwhile, down in Kanungu district, the situation is almost similar like that in Hoima, though with varying hiked fuel prices. High fuel prices have affected the transport sector in the hard-to-reach Kanungu district. The price of fuel goes for 5,100 shillings, up from 4,800 shillings per litre, while a litre of diesel is trading at 4,500 shillings, up from 4,200 shillings, making it hard for players in the transport sector to make profits. We visited some petrol stations in Kanungu town to know the cause of these high fuel prices.
But now, these prices of petrol and oil is increasing in Kanungu because of transportation of fuel, plus these bad roads of Kanungu coming from transporting fuel from Kanungu, this side, the transport increments are very high.
But what do fuel customers say here in Kanungu district?
Kindly, I could request those parliament, our MPs, our president, to help us about fuel.
The First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, has appealed to nurses across the country to desist from acts of unprofessionalism. Janet Museveni was represented at the 7th graduation ceremony of Kabale School of Comprehensive Nursing by Dr. Joyce Moroto Kaduchu, the State Minister for Primary Education.
The event that took place at the institution's grounds on Makanga Hill in Kabale Municipality saw a total of 846 graduates awarded with diplomas and certificates in various nursing fields. In her remarks read to graduating nurses by the State Minister for Primary Education, Dr. Joyce Moroto Kaduchu, the First Lady noted that with the increasing teenage pregnancies in the country, nurses who are not careful could be landed in acts of abortion and other illegal practices by some of the victims.
I want to caution you. Abortion is illegal. According to the Constitution of Uganda, do not soil your hands. Uphold the profession. It's only when you do the right thing you can get the blessings from the Almighty God.
Minister Kadiku also asked nurses to develop a good working relationship with patients for effective service delivery.
And I now challenge you to go to the next phase, to embrace the market, the labor force, to apply the knowledge and the skills you have acquired and translate this into the care of the patient.
Speaking at the function, Josephine Nambiro Kigozi, the principal of Kabale School of Comprehensive Nursing, said that the institution, which is making 50 years of existence, has had a great impact on the region and the country at large, despite lacking some necessities.
We need your support. The resources are limited. We would wish to have many admitted in the institution. And the men I know during this time after the interviews are crying to come to the school. So I appeal to everybody to enable us achieve that goal.
UBC News Tonight. Now, the Nurses and Midwives September 2021 final semester diploma program examinations have been released. State Minister for Higher Education Dr. Chrysostom Miengo officiated the release and urged tutors to offer psychosocial support to their students. We have more.
The 7th series of Nurses and Midwives semester examinations have been released. At least 35,107 candidates attempted the Nurses and Midwives exams, out of whom 34,010 were continuing students for both diploma and certificate levels. The statement of release indicates that 90.3% of the 34,010 passed and will progress to the next level, while 2,493 were ungraded and will retake the papers.
As you may have noticed, the general performance of candidates declined in September 2021, indicated by the average pass mark of 78% compared to the usual 94%. Disruption in school calendar, which affected concentration. Inadequate contact with tutors reduced the level of consultation and support, while self-directed learning was difficult to achieve.
58 candidates missed the September and November 2021 examinations, 53 of whom were on certificate program, while 5 were on diploma programs.
11 candidates declared themselves unable to attend examinations due to advanced pregnancies and being newly married. 5 candidates lost interest in the program due to engagement in other economic activities.
The State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Miengo, officiated the event and emphasized the need to guard students against COVID-19 through regular counseling and mentorship sessions.
What we have done as a government is to train, retrain, equip the teachers with more counseling skills, with psychosocial support. So we of course that is if the children go to the schools, they will be cancelled from there.
Meanwhile, the Education and Health Ministry are jointly working on a policy aimed at phasing out the comprehensive nursing course and promote general nursing.
And we got an official communication from the Ministry of Health that will phase out comprehensive nursing. So we have those ones that are already in saturation, those ones who are already working, who qualified, and so on. Ministry of Education, starting this year, has given an opportunity to them to upgrade to either general nursing, diploma in general nursing, or diploma in midwifery, and they will be on a government sponsorship.
I'm Nafka Farida and Daniel Lugemwa in Kampala.
Around UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but we return with more stories. Don't move an inch.
Pay school fees conveniently using MTN Momo. Dial *165 *80 hash. Enter the student code provided by the school. It will show you the student name and the class plus outstanding balance. Enter the amount you want to pay. Enter PIN. You will get a notification confirming payment. It's simple, secure and convenient.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Parents, guardians and caregivers, there's a confirmed polio outbreak in Kampala, and therefore the Ministry of Health will conduct a national house-to-house polio immunization campaign. The first round of the campaign will take place from Friday, the 14th of January to Sunday, the 16th of January 2022 in all districts of Uganda. During the national house-to-house polio immunization campaign, health workers will come to your homes and immunize all your children under 5 years of age. Please note that the national house-to-house polio immunization campaign does not replace the routine immunization. The polio vaccine is safe, effective, and free.
Parents, guardians and caregivers, please ensure that all your children under 5 years of age are immunized against polio during the National House-to-House Immunization Campaign from Friday 14th January to Sunday 16th January 2022. The dates for the second round of the campaign will be announced in due course. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF, World Health Organization and partners.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Nze Brian Mulondo. Era nga nze okubalaga engeri gy'okusasula ebisale ku luguudo olupya olwa Kampala Entebbe Expressway. Nga tonnaba kukozesa luguudo luno, kakasa nti olina ssente zo ezabuliwo oba eziri ku upesi kaadi yo, era ezo ezabuliwo zirina kuba za Uganda. Ekisooka, tovuga kusuka sipiidi 2 ng'onaatera okutuuka kalyango awasasulirwa. Ekyokubiri, sasula ssente oba waayo upesi kaadi yo. Ekyokusatu, kakasa nti ofuna lisiiti oba upesi kaadi yo. Awo olyoka onyumira olugendo lwo ku Kampala Entebbe Expressway.
Okumanya ebisingawo kyalira omukutu gwaffe gwa www.kee.go.ug oba kuba ku ssimu yaffe etali yakusasulirwa noti 8 noti 27 107.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial *149*10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial *149*10*5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial *149*10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Parents, guardians and caregivers, there's a confirmed polio outbreak in Kampala, and therefore the Ministry of Health will conduct a national house-to-house polio immunization campaign. The first round of the campaign will take place from Friday, the 14th of January to Sunday, the 16th of January 2022 in all districts of Uganda. During the national house-to-house polio immunization campaign, health workers will come to your homes and immunize all your children under 5 years of age. Please note that the national house-to-house polio immunization campaign does not replace the routine immunization. The polio vaccine is safe, effective, and free.
Parents, guardians and caregivers, please ensure that all your children under 5 years of age are immunized against polio during the National House-to-House Immunization Campaign from Friday 14th January to Sunday 16th January 2022. The dates for the second round of the campaign will be announced in due course. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF, World Health Organization and partners.
Welcome back from that break, and we're glad that you're still with us here in UBC News Tonight. Now moving on with more stories, 5 suspected electricity cable vandals have been arrested and charged before the Buganda Road Court. The suspected gangs were caught destroying electricity pylons connecting Karuma Power Station to the consumers. We have more details in this report.
Uganda Electricity Transmission Company Limited has displayed exhibits of vandalized electricity poles used in the construction of the Karuma interconnection project. The vandalized electricity lines have affected the progress of the project. These lines are used to transmit high voltage electricity.
Okay, we are looking at electric towers. These are lattice towers.
It is believed that the steel-made electric towers are expensive and have ready market among scrap dealers.
So that's where they sell these items.
Government meets the costs of replacing the vandalized electric towers. It is estimated that a single tower costs 300 million Uganda shillings.
You vandalize one tower, that means they have to look for replacement of that, maybe angle bar or even the nut. Sometimes they even steal that the network cable.
Uganda police has arrested suspects and presented them before Buganda Road Court on charges of theft and tampering with electricity installation.
If you ask a suspect, such people to give you 300 million, for example, do they have it? They don't have it. So for now, that's why we are urging people to take ownership of these projects. Let us have the love for our country. Let us not sabotage government projects.
Section 82 of the Electricity Act criminalizes tampering with the installation, manufacturing or importing or selling any equipment and states that any violation is liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 50 currency points or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 5 years or both. A currency point is equivalent to 20,000 shillings. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News in Kampala.
Dokolo South Member of Parliament Felix Okoto Gonga has survived a nasty road accident. The Vice Chairperson, Lango Parliamentary Group, Moses Jr. Okot Bitek, said Okoto Gong was leaving his constituency for the graduation ceremony at Lira University when a bicycle carrying charcoal made a U-turn in front of his car that instantly overturned. However, MP Okoto Gong is reported to be out of danger and has been airlifted to Mulago Regional Referral Hospital for further management.
This is Honorable Felix Okoto Gong walking to Uganda police chopper. He is out of danger. He survived a nasty accident that occurred early this morning. According to the Vice Chairperson Lango Parliamentary Group, Moses Jr. Okot Bitek, also Kyoga County Member of Parliament, Honorable Okot was leaving his constituency for the third graduation ceremony at Lira University when a bicycle carrying a bag of charcoal made a U-turn in front of them, and attempts to dodge caused the car to leave the road and overturned 2 times.
He got a very nasty accident along Agwara Reserve Forest, where a cyclist who was riding a sack of charcoal made a U-turn on the road, and the Honorable, to save the cyclist, had to branch off the road, and the car did overturn about twice.
Honorable Okoto Gong was rushed to Lira Medical Center for management, but later the Deputy Speaker of Parliament arranged for his transfer to Mulago National Referral Hospital for further assessment and management.
The Deputy Speaker of Parliament did react to our request. The information that we have from Kampala is that the Honorable Member is safe, out of danger now. Safe, for he will undergo a few checks.
Okot also cautioned road users in the wake of the growing number of road accidents in the country.
These accidents will claim a lot of us, and we also probably urge that people take keen interest in educating themselves on the basics of road usage.
This week, 9 traders lost their lives and several still admitted for management after a fatal accident that happened as they returned from a jewelry market in Aleptong district. Ediolwa, UBC News.
From Dokolo to Kasese District, the Kasese District Council has paid tribute to former Deputy Minister of Culture and Community Development in the Obote government for his selfless and enormous contribution to Uganda and the Rwenzori sub-region. The late Ezron Wambale, the first Mukonzo minister and minister of the very first August House of Uganda, has been eulogized for his exceptional character and humility that saw Kasese get to the limelight in the post-colonial regime. Take a look.
By 9 a.m., the body of the departed former minister in the Obote I regime was being moved on the streets of Kasese town to bid farewell to the town he lived in for several years, but also worked to be established. In a convoy of several vehicles led by a brass band on the way to the district council chambers, the body of the departed minister was received by the Minister of State for ICT and National Guidance, Kabyanga Godfrey. The council chambers was fully packed to capacity by mourners who included district councillors, members of parliament, and former politicians of all ages, who paid tribute to the selfless politician. The Speaker of Kasese District Council, Honorable Tsotswana Obedi, described the late Wambale Izroni as a model politician who lived his legacy to the end of his life.
We found it prudent to call for this an emergency council, sitting, having seen that our fallen former deputy minister has made remarkable contributions towards the social and economic development of Kasese and Uganda at large.
The district chairperson, Kasese District, Erifaz Muhindi, described the late Wambale Izroni as an icon in Kasese District and the Rwenzori region as a whole. He said Wambale initiated several development projects in the district that still last today. The State Minister for National Guidance, Godfrey Kabyanga, asked leaders in Kasese District to emulate the late Wambale Izroni for his down-to-earth characters. He asked the people of Kasese District to desist from bad politics of hatred that hurts today ruined the development of the district. Report compiled by Stephen Kalisha and Moses Mutabali in Kasese District.
The Minister of Education and Sports, also First Lady of Uganda, Janet Museveni, has cautioned Lira University from initiating several courses. She says most universities have lost their niche by opening very many courses which are not relevant. In her speech, read by State Minister for Sports, Dennis Hamson-Abua, Mrs. Museveni said the country lacks human capital in sciences and the university should uphold its niche in sciences to spur the development of the country.
By 9 a.m., the dust could not settle as graduates and guests made their way to Lira University for their third graduation ceremony. At the entrance are vendors busy harvesting the school fees balances. Photographers are also busy putting the record on hard copy. Then arrives the chief guest, Dennis Hamson-Abua, who proceeded and planted a tree together with the leaders and the university council. Animating the day are the different cultural groups at the university. Here comes the moment of joy. 343 graduates were awarded in the third graduation ceremony of the university. In a message to the university read by the Minister of State for Sports Dennis Samson Obua, Minister of Education and Sports Janet Museveni appreciated the people of Lao for giving land for public development and urged Lira University to uphold its niche in sciences.
Therefore, I want to caution Lira University not to fall into the same mistakes that public universities elsewhere have made in the past of starting up so many programs, straying away from the regional, strategic and core focus of what you ought to be.
Mrs. Museveni also urged the graduates to use their knowledge to cause development in the country and charged the university to produce quality human capital.
Therefore, my prayer is that the hundreds of graduates Lira University is turning out today have the competencies to become problem solvers our country can count on.
Although the university has been receiving government support towards infrastructural development, it still decries limited funding.
This is another request where we think that the government should at least consider this, because this facility is helping not only the university and the community, but also the community around.
Let the Ministry of Education put more resources in order to improve on the existing status. I'm happy the minister is here and is listening. We have to give more money to this university.
Also handed over was a memorandum by the leaders of Karamoja to the university. Karamoja is in partnership with the Lira University to enhance academic and research in the region.
To orient themselves to work with pastoralists and cattle keeping communities. And we have put Lira indeed to be our great ally.
12 kilometers away from Lira town, Lira University sits on 621 acres that was given by Lira district to promote academic excellence in the region. Edioloa, UBC News.
Now, Uganda is expecting to have some off-season rainfalls over the weekend in some parts of the country, especially southwestern Uganda, after experiencing high temperatures. Now, while talking to UBC, the meteorologist at Uganda National Meteorological Authority, Yusuf Nsubuga, says normal rains will start in early March this year.
Currently, the country is experiencing dry and hot conditions with the hazy conditions as well. Most parts of it, especially the north, with highest temperatures recorded. Like as we talk today, we had the highest temperature in the north due to longer sunshine hours. And this is expected usually during this time of the year. This month and Feb, these are months of dry conditions. However, we may expect some occasional rainfall or off-season rainfall, like starting from the weekend, especially Sunday, and then the days, the following days. We may expect some rains, especially in the southern part of the country, and then more especially around the lake, and then southwestern, that is the Chigezi Highlands, which may also extend to other areas. So those, if we get those rains, don't say again the rains have come. Those are expected rains. We call them off-season rains. So we may have them also come next week. Starting from actually the weekend, as I stated, in the month of March, April, and May. That is the season when we expect the rains. But this season where we are, it's a dry season because of we have dry winds coming from Sahara Desert, accompanied with the winds from the Arabian Peninsula. So we are having dry winds now, but come March, April, May, we shall be having again moist winds, especially from Indian Ocean. where we shall be having abundant water vapor, hence giving us rains. Yes.
Teaching agriculture practically is one of the projects the Ministry of Education and Sports, in partnership with the Belgian government, is to offer teachers and instructors in agriculture and agri-entrepreneurship education. This is after a 3-year project undertaken by VVOB Education for Development wound up and replaced with Learning Entrepreneurship, Agriculture and Practically initiative. Take a look.
See a situation when people now choose agriculture as a first choice. How do we get there? It's about motivation.
The Director, Higher and Technical Vocational Education and Training, Dr. Jane Egau Okou, says that many students have not yet seen the opportunities that exist in agriculture training and skilling.
People sometimes don't know what to do because they lack the entrepreneurial mind. But now when we combine the practical with entrepreneurship, I'm just hopeful that we should be able to motivate more people to come into agriculture.
Egau was officiating the bridging event where a Belgian international NGO, VOB, Education for Development, was succeeded by another initiative that promotes teaching agriculture practically.
VVOB partnered with the Ministry of Education and Sports from 2019 July with the aim of strengthening the capacity of the teacher training institutions. And as has rightly been said, at that time the focus was on the teacher and the teachers in the field of agriculture.
Teaching agriculture practically has been piloted at NTC Mubende, NTC Unyama and the National Instructors College, Abilonino.
A new program that will be in line with the STAP program. The new program is called LEAP, Learning Entrepreneurship and Agriculture Practically. So it's a bigger program, it's a longer program, and it's also emphasizing entrepreneurship next to agriculture.
The Deputy Head of Cooperation at the Belgian Embassy, Luke Pyson, says improving the quality of education is key in human resource development.
Education is indeed fundamental to development and growth. In Uganda, the National Development Plan 3 identifies human capital development as one of the key priority areas for strategic interventions towards transitioning to a modern economy, as investment in well-educated, skilled and healthy human resources is essential to development.
This has been achieved through interventions that included investment in infrastructure for income generation and practical learning of agriculture, co-creation of pedagogical teaching, learning and support materials, strengthened networks with the world of work.
I must say that VVOB has done a lot to both the individuals in terms of lecturing and the college at large, because we have gained a lot, we have gained skills, we have gained partnership, and we have had collaboration with the world of work.
Learning Entrepreneurship and Agriculture Practical initiative aims at improving the quality of agriculture and entrepreneurship teaching at lower secondary and secondary teaching and vocational education and training schools. I'm Navka Farida and Setumba Douglas.
It's the 2021 Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations. Live, free and exclusive to your public broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Parents, guardians and caregivers, there's a confirmed polio outbreak in Kampala, and therefore the Ministry of Health will conduct a national house-to-house polio immunization campaign. The first round of the campaign will take place from Friday the 14th of January to Sunday the 16th of January 2022 in all districts of Uganda. During the national house-to-house polio immunization campaign, health workers will come to your homes and immunize all your children under 5 years of age. Please note that the national house-to-house polio immunization campaign does not replace the routine immunization. The polio vaccine is safe, effective, and free.
Parents, guardians and caregivers, please ensure that all your children under 5 years of age are immunized against polio during the National House-to-House Immunization Campaign from Friday 14th January to Sunday 16th January 2022. The dates for the second round of the campaign will be announced in due course. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF, World Health Organization and partners.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back. And now into some business news. Truck drivers who recently staged a strike protesting payment for COVID-19 testing before entering Uganda have applauded government's intervention with a free coronavirus test. The strike was staged at Malaba border, affecting business and mainly a hike in fuel prices across the country.
Regional Lorry Drivers and Transporters Association have commended Uganda for addressing issues that led them into staging a week-long strike at Malaba border point. The chairperson of the Regional Lorry Drivers and Transporters Association, Byron Chinene, says they are not against testing for COVID-19, but they want regulations and SOPs against coronavirus prevention regularized at all East African states' border crossing points.
We had planned a journey management system. We sold it even to the ministers, to the cabinet ministers, but we don't know how it ended. It was just watered like that. So what do we think? These drivers, if at all we are fighting COVID-19, need to be monitored. Need to be monitored from the source where they have loaded goods. Let me say Mombasa. Mombasa to Malaba, it takes 2 days or 3. It can even take 4. But when the drivers enters a 50th day, that drivers need to be questioned. Where have you been all along? Maybe you have been interacting with other groups. You need to be retested.
Chitene says there is need to set up a journey management system at border crossing points to monitor drivers from the point where they start their journey. He encouraged truck drivers to continue complying with SOPs and regulations to control the virus to avoid another.
COVID is real. COVID is there. Though we are having some challenges, but we need to know that we need to fight it all together. So you need to be cautious. You need to check yourselves. Don't interact with other groups. Just go to the bond, please load, be in your truck. And when you are moving, please make sure you are alone. Follow the procedures. They are very clear, and they are not very difficult. So follow them. Because
Story compiled by Salongo Kasibante for UBC News.
The general working atmosphere of workers at the workplace most times determines their performance and profitability of the enterprise. Along this line, Uganda Hotels, Food, Tourism, Supermarkets and Allied Workers Union has signed a recognition agreement with Majid Al-Taim's Carrefour supermarket. The move is aimed at harmonizing the relationship and working conditions of the employees.
Food, Tourism, Supermarket and Allied Workers Union have signed an agreement providing for a framework for industrial relations that set out the rules and procedures to be used by the union and the employer for consultation and collective bargaining. The General Secretary of the union. Also, the Member of Parliament Bugweri County, Stephen Mugole, says that workers in supermarkets are vulnerable to the effects of COVID-19 because of their close interaction with customers.
Our members became frontline workers in the supermarkets because they had to work under these strenuous conditions and with low pay because they would not have the clientele that they used to have. But in the hotel sector, we lost almost 80% of the staff. But as business has been coming back, as I tell you now, a number of our members are getting back to employment.
The labor rights activist Mugole made these remarks during the signing of recognition agreement with Carrefour, outlining effective procedures to be followed while dealing with organizational challenges, terms and conditions of employment, salary structure, and disciplinary grievance, among others.
And the second thing involved in the recognition agreement is the procedures of how we shall relate with the management. When shall we negotiate the general terms and conditions of service? When shall we elect branch leaders? How shall we be conducting our meetings between the union and management?
Carrefour East Africa Regional Director Frank Mori said that they have been recognized as a trade union and can now consult and negotiate on all matters pertaining their workers as set out in the agreement.
In order to satisfy all our customers. And we have other challenges like e-commerce, to launch correct e-commerce.
The United Arab Emirates best investor Majid Al Futain, under his supermarket brand name Carrefour, bought retail stores and movable assets formerly operated by Shoprite Uganda.
And now into sports, arguably the best rugby fixture in the land and the best on-form clubs, Heathens and Cobs, are tussling this Saturday in what many term as the do-or-die fixture. Last weekend was a replica of what many rugby fans had missed out for some time, and indeed they are expected in numbers to witness the biggest fixture so far. As the Heathens battle Cobs, Hippos Rugby Club faces Warriors as Damwater in Ginger Pirates play Rams, Mongers face Rhinos in Entebbe, while Buffalo will play Impis in Chadondo. Now, breweries are the main sponsors of the league to a tune of 2.6 billion Uganda shillings.
You go! Playing Heathens, a long time rival. I played them over 15 times throughout the years, 15-20 times. One thing I know about them is between these derby games, it is who wants it more, who's more prepared and who's more hungry for the win, because capitalize on either side can capitalize on the other's mistake, and that's the difference of the game.
Playing against Cobs is always a hard one. I think it comes down to who wants it at most at the end of the day. But we put in a solid shift this week. We've been training hard, and for Saturday, all I can say is we are raring to go. It's going to be a good one. Let the fans enjoy it.
Our target Saturday is to win the game. It doesn't matter if we win 3-0, if we win 5-0, whatever score that we can win with is going to be a win that we are looking at. We're not looking at points, we're looking at just going out there and winning the game.
We have a few injuries, but they are not that concerning. I think we're waiting for the doctor's assessments. They will tell us what to do with the players and how we move forward.
Alright, UBC News has come to an end, but before we leave you, let's first take another look at tonight's headlines.
Brought to you by
How to get points. Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
In our headlines tonight, Kampala parents hiding their children from vaccination. Chabazinga, Gabula Nadiope on the throne till death. $2,493 nurses, midwives failed semester exams due to COVID-19. And Hoima Kanungu fuel prices hike paralyzes transport.
Was brought to you by Everywhere You Go, MTN.
All right, I want to thank you so much for your company this lovely evening, and we take you back, of course, to the AFCON games being aired here on UBC television. I'm Lira Masika Kazumoto and Mohammed Bugalu on sign language. We wish you a lovely night.
Well, hello there, and thank you very much for watching UBC News. My name is Molin Kenyana, here to take you through tonight's weather report. Well, there has been mostly dry and sunny conditions across much of the country. However, today we did see a pickup in wet weather activities across parts of the southern sector, and we're looking at the satellite to see the system. Now, we do have those low pressure systems that are over the Indian Ocean, and because of that, we've seen that now the rain belt has started to move a little bit further towards our country, and that is covering most areas within the southern sector, which explains the rains that we had across that area. Now we still have those dry conditions still coming in from the dry winds over northern Uganda, and that might indicate still sunny conditions over that area. But to be precise, let's take a look at our Saturday forecast. Well, in the morning we wake up to mostly intervals of sunny and cloudy conditions across the southern sector. We do have possibilities of rainy conditions across the eastern part of Lake Victoria. However, northern Uganda as well as eastern Uganda will wake up to sunny skies. Now later in the afternoon, we do expect a pickup of wet weather conditions. Those will be across the Lake Victoria Basin, parts of southwestern Uganda, as well as the Rwenzori area. But for northern Uganda and eastern Uganda, it looks like we will maintain those sunny intervals. Now at daytime highs, we do expect temperatures to remain equally high. We're looking at a maximum of 30 across Kampala, and still hot weather for the Karamojong region as well as northern Uganda. We'll have temperatures rising up to 35, although for Kawale Highlands we do expect temperatures to go up to 24 degrees centigrade. Now some of the wild cities that we have for you, we're forecasting sunny conditions that will be across Addis Ababa with temperatures rising up to 25. We do also expect rainy conditions across Mwanza as well as Cape Town, and also sunny conditions are forecast for Dubai with temperatures quite moderate at 26 degrees centigrade. Well, that's all we've had for you from the Weather Center. My name is Molin Kenyana. Wish you a good night.
Nachibuka Priscilla Sarah announces the disappearance of her son Nicholas Chigundu, who was last seen in Nalia Kawanda. Nicholas Chigundu disappeared in Butabika, where he had gone to get psychiatric treatment. He was wearing black jeans and a sweater with green sleeves. Nicholas Chigundu is mentally unstable. Nachibuka Priscilla Sarah appeals to whoever has seen Nicholas Chigundu to contact her on 0740 957 036 or report to the nearest police station. A reward awaits.
It's the 2021 Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations. Live, free, and exclusive to your public broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Parents, guardians and caregivers, there's a confirmed polio outbreak in Kampala, and therefore the Ministry of Health will conduct a national house-to-house polio immunization campaign. The first round of the campaign will take place from Friday, the 14th of January to Sunday, the 16th of January 2022 in all districts of Uganda. During the National House-to-House Polio Immunization Campaign, health workers will come to your homes and immunize all your children under 5 years of age. Please note that the National House-to-House Polio Immunization Campaign does not replace the routine immunization. The polio vaccine is safe, effective and free.
Parents, guardians and caregivers, please ensure that all your children under 5 years of age are immunized against polio during the National House-to-House Immunization Campaign from Friday 14th January to Sunday 16th January 2022. The dates for the second round of the campaign will be announced in due course. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF, World Health Organization and partners.
It's Freaky Friday from Airtel. Buy or gift. Buy or give.
Get freaky too! Dial star 149 star 10 hash to load a Freaky Friday bundle for you to enjoy the best offers on voice and data.
To buy a bundle for friends and family, dial star 149 star 10 star 5 hash. Freaky Friday with Airtel. Buy or gift a bundle today. Dial star 149 star 10 hash to get started. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Flutterwave, partner of this broadcast of the Total Energies Africa Cup of Nations Cameroon 2021.
Ghanaian half than the Black Stars have at the other end of the pitch. That's a foul against Buanga. He was backing into the defender.